Think you can just file an amended return whenever you want and fix any mistake? Not so fast. There are strict rules, and if you don't follow them, you could lose out on huge refunds or even trigger an IRS audit. I'm Jasmine DiLucci. I'm a practicing tax attorney, CPA, and enrolled agent. I got my first tax license in high school, and in today's video, we're going through what you need to know about an amended return before you file one, and I'll give you my personal recommendation on how to handle correcting your return without creating a mess. Okay, so here's what your tax professional probably hasn't told you about amended returns. Let's start with the fact that the IRS isn't legally required to process them. This is because there is literally no law requiring them to do so. And a Supreme Court case, Badaracco versus Commissioner, confirmed this interpretation, saying the Internal Revenue Code does not explicitly authorize the filing of amended returns. The right to file such returns is a creature of administrative origin and grace. We hate this word grace. Okay, we don't ever want to rely on using the IRS's grace. So if we do have to submit an amended return, we want to make sure we don't give the IRS easy reasons to reject it. So what's the number one reason the IRS rejects amended returns? Vague explanations. If you write something generic like correction to AGI or business deduction adjustment, the IRS can very easily just throw it out. And here's why this matters. An amended return requesting a refund is legally a claim for refund. The 1040X is just the form you use to make that claim. So under IRC 6402 and the Treasury regulations, a claim must state with specificity the grounds for the refund. The idea is that the IRS should be put on notice as to the nature of the claim, and if you don't, the claim is invalid, meaning the IRS can deny the claim outright, and the courts don't have jurisdiction to hear your refund case because you didn't file a valid claim for refund. So on an amended return, I would recommend outlining the exact item changed. Okay, for example, line 13, qualified business income deduction increased by $20,000. And 2, the legal and technical reason. For example, taxpayer qualifies for the QBI deduction not originally claimed. You might be thinking, Jasmine, what's the big deal? Why do people go to court over this when they can just resubmit the return properly if it's rejected? Great question. And it's because they're SOL. That's right. We all know what SOL means. And since some people up in the comments have problems with my cursing, I'm gonna whisper the curse word in this next sentence, okay? The taxpayers are outside the statute of limitations, okay? It is a dirty IRS move, and the IRS typically takes up to a year or even more to process the amended returns, and by that time, you blow through the statute of limitations, which is the submission deadline to get your money back. And then the IRS denies the refund claim, and then you're SOL. Speaking of SOL, another way you can accomplish that is by mailing in the amended return without certified mail proof. Wait for the IRS to process the return that you don't have proof you sent, and then only realize after the statute of limitation expires that they claim to have never received a copy. You may have heard that timely mailing is timely filing, and you'd be right under IRC 7502, but it requires the IRS to actually receive the return within a reasonable time, and like all things with the IRS, if the IRS isn't showing they received it, you'll need to prove they received it, which is why you need registered or certified mail. And finally, always keep in mind that refund requests can trigger an IRS audit. And honestly, it makes sense, right? You sending in a return saying, hey, I messed up the first time. I need lots of money back. Well, it's reasonable for someone, including the IRS, to say, wait a second, if you messed up the first time, who's to say you're not messing up this time too? Let's take a look. And that is what we call an IRS audit. And an IRS audit not only challenges the position on the amended return, but of course can open up problems on the original return you didn't even know you had. So how do we avoid creating these types of problems? This is what I personally do and recommend. Okay, keep your financials ready and tax plan throughout the year. And honestly, you'll avoid 90% of the reasons that people amend. Prepare your return not right before the deadline so that you have time to review it. You then want to extend your return even if you like to file early, okay? So that even if you do file early, you can choose to file a superseded return before the extension deadline if you catch any corrections. A superseded return is a new original return, and it overrides your prior return as long as it's submitted timely, including valid extensions. And finally, of course, always check your IRS transcripts before the extended deadline passes so that you can update your return if you miss anything, because ignoring your IRS transcripts would be the second most common reason that people end up needing to amend. Okay, and if you're like, damn, I haven't been able to pay for guidance like this, then you should subscribe to get more free actual tax help from a tax attorney.